Which is ironic, because a former rumor that was investigated is that they were using dead people for sushi. Well, actually, they spread the rumor that the other sushi place down the street is using dead people for sushi, and then they ask them that when they're there. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, that is Lessons, and we are back with another episode of Durarara. And this time I'll make sure to get this off right at the start. Thank you again to Master Detective for sponsoring this. I do think this is one of the better shows. I don't want to say in the lineup that we're currently doing, because I actually feel like it's one of the better shows that I've watched. And that's the guilt I have on the inside, is that I feel like I'm doing it a disservice. I think it deserves way better than me. I'm happy that I'm here doing it. Well, anyway, come back with a board. I have a few notes, but let's go to the board first, where I have the board changelog. I added a purple arrow from Saki to Kita. Obviously, I think Kita is... I think Saki's right. Kita is in love with her still, but he's dealing with his own problems of the past sort of thing. So until there's like movement on that, I'm not actually willing to put down a direct board representation of that. I added Izumi and connected him with a red line to Kita and Saki. And then I added a former blue squares box and added Izumi, Horoda, Kadota, Erika, Walker, Saburo, and I think Asunuma.
Wow. That same picture is pretty dark. You gotta really go in to actually see her face.
His. I think it's his.
His.
It's a little kid.
Oh.
So that's why I'm saying, that's why I'm like, I'm not actually sure. I think it's a he, but can't really tell. Also, that takes place from an episode where they're meeting them in a darker alley, because that's the episode where Castano here is getting abducted by the abductors over here, because they want to kidnap foreigners. I can't remember what they're kidnapping foreigners for.
And for the experiments that what's her name was doing?
I can't specifically remember. That's why I'm saying I don't remember. It's not like I don't think you could say and it would remind me. I just don't remember why. Anyway, they dumped him out in like some garbage while they were being chased, and that is where Hasim was. So that's why it's a darker area. It's at night and in a dark alley. Also, he was in a dark alley with trash. So.
Well, there you have it. That's the board.
I guess if I am going to ever make audio lines for the thing, it's going to be the classics. So there you have it. Anyways, I didn't kill those children.
I never said that.
Those classics. Oh, so you admit it.
I didn't do anything of the sort. So I don't know how to admit anything.
That should be the new line then. I didn't kill those children. I didn't say that. That's the quote. That ends right there. This is why you need a lawyer when you talk to the cops. Lessons.
Oh, you shouldn't talk to the cops, period.
Yeah, well.
Keep your mouth shut.
They won't hold you for 24 hours. Just don't talk for 24 hours.
Don't. I did, by the way, I saw these three, Joko, Haruko, and Akie. And it reminds me, I saw a recent video explaining the Gyaru, the evolution of the Gyaru, right, in Japan, and how it went from...
died off.
No, because it's sort of committed combat anime, but now it's soft enough.
Sorry, not to interrupt you, but literally there's I think they're considered Gyaru, the three characters, Ayase and her two friends, and Dandadan, which is a recent big hit. Also, season 2 is out now. Yeah. I'm catching up. I'm only like 5 episodes in, but one of them is dressed up like, not dressed up, not the clothing, the makeup, like the Joker. Like, she's got some weird shit going on, and I'm making fun of her in episode 1. And they're like, no, she's a Gyaru. I was like, I know. I'm just making fun. I'm making Joker jokes. And it's like, that's the style. I understand it's a style. I've been watching anime and Japanese stuff for a long time now. It's just funny. It's just funny because it's not like the normal, oh, she's gone heavy on the tanning and like Jersey Shore makeup. It's like, no, she's like lines down the middle and like she's Mononokeing it. Like, she's getting
Yeah,
ready
no,
for
but
war.
the thing about the point of this video, and if I find it, I'll link it back to you. YouTube seems to be out of whack for me for some reason right now. Is that it started in late 1980s, and it was like, oh, this is exciting and new, and whatever. Then there was in 90s and early 2000s, there was a vilification of it, and then now it's come back like, oh no, the Gyaro girl, sweet kind of girl and more acceptable in at least in anime, and Durarara isn't the cycle of the evil Kiara, right?
Well,
The
no.
bully, I
Well,
mean, these three girls are bullying other people, yeah.
well, they're bullying a specific person. It's more that they're part of the gang lifestyle. They hang
Yeah, but
out
that's
and
also,
they're hanging out in the slums. All their boyfriends are part of different gangs.
yeah, that's part of the vilification of Kiara, yeah, that they're trouble, right? That
Oh yeah, but I mean,
um
usually it's not the kind of trouble I think you're indicating. Usually they're trouble because they're. I can't think of a good way to say it. They're just trouble. Okay.
yeah, the kind of girl your mother warned you about.
Sorry, my brain went to another aspect of that. It's the '80s, right? So modern. Some stories feature. Well, I was one of those, but now I'm a mother now. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm not familiar with the revamp of the Yarrow, which is to say the wholesome girl that you seem to be throwing out there. I'm closer towards the we want to imitate Western stuff with heavy tanning and whatnot, and then certain
I
other
mean,
aspects of
if you watch My Dress Up Darling, she is a Gyaro. She and all her friends are Gyaro, basically, all her close friends.
right. Well, I'm
It's just
talking
that,
about the stereotype that I'm used to.
yeah, yeah.
That's why I'm. That's what the
Um,
difficulty is when they all three of those girls that I'm talking about in Dan to Dan are supposed to be Yarrow, and two of them just like normal people to me. And it's like the other one that puts on super tan stuff and then full on makeup. It's like that's Yarrow. That's the one I'm used to seeing.
and Momo too, by the way, with her knee socks things that she has, and you know, and pink, very
I
bright pink.
watch too much stuff. Momo from
From Dandadan.
that's Ayase. Her name is Momo Ayase.
Yeah.
I said Ayase and her two friends, and you're like, Momo is also one.
Yeah.
I've been talking about Momo. I've called her Ayase. Same way that I call Ken Ken and not Okarun. She calls him Okarun. His name is Ken.
I mean, he's one of the ones who actually insist on calling her Ayase-chan, which is weird because that gets translated to Miss Ayase, where Chan, depending on the
I think
context,
he calls her Miss Ayase in the English dub, so.
yeah. But they're translating the Chan to Miss, which is fair, I guess, but I guess they're highlighting the fact that he's very nerdy and sort of like
It has the feel of the
extremely,
tone of voice that he has when he talks to her.
yeah, yeah.
I'm enjoying the
So
show. It's just I don't have like that much in-depth notes to give because I'm still trying to. I'm focusing more on the world building than I am.
yeah,
Like I really do enjoy the character relationship. I keep saying that. The fact that I think the last episode that I watched, sorry, the next to last episode that I watched was a very much slice of life school episode. And I'm saying that the fact that they've made the characters so interesting is the benefit of that I can watch them in any setting and be interested. It doesn't have to be the supernatural fighting stuff too. Just the fact
yeah.
of them like, oh, I want to talk to Okaru and I want to talk to Misayase. And then, she can't be waiting there for me. She's so popular, she must be waiting for her own friends. I think the move here is to ignore her. It's like, I really love watching this relationship. The first episode is that's how love starts, you know? It's like, okay, I know what we're into. It's a really good show. It's just, you know me, I'm emotionally stupid, so I don't really have a lot to say about the emotional stuff.
But
And
yeah,
that's how I sold
it's just
everybody in the Durarara crowd on my Dan to Dan reactions.
yeah.
Come watch the
Yeah.
guy you love to hate, watch a show that you like and he's not reacting to. All right, well, I only have a couple of notes here. As I said, emotionally stupid. And last episode was basically about Kita and his backstory when it comes to Saki and tangentially Azaya. So, seems a bit ominous that we just got through a storyline dealing with Saika, and this whole love obsession thing. And the first episode just after it is Saki declaring how her and Kaida are meant to be, and how she believes his love towards her is stronger than any infatuation he has with any other girl. If it wasn't for the fact that Isaiah is the contributing factor to her saying it, I'd suspect that she was in the Saika army.
She's might still will be in this Psycho, not in the Psycho army, but still certainly in the side of the Psycho.
I don't think there's any indication of that, mostly because she's been in the hospital the entire time, and we haven't seen anybody else come into contact with her other than Isaiah and I guess Kita.
Yeah, but I think remember when we're talking about the flashback, she identifies herself as being. Oh, actually, she agrees that she is Ayasa's understudy.
Isaiah.
I say as understudy protege.
It's
Right?
different. Here's the thing: I rewatched it in English. Obviously, we originally watched it in I was going to say
Japanese.
Spanish or something, Japanese. And obviously, there's also the subtitles, so I don't know what they're actually saying. In the subtitles, they say disciple. They do say like understudy or something in English. So,
And
and
all
they
her
admits that
interactions.
she has the flaw that she is reliant on Isaiah.
And all her interactions with him afterwards seem to be manipulative and has that sense of
With him,
you know
we talked about two guys. I need you to narrow it down.
not with let me just look at the
Kaida?
Kaida, yeah. But this and that's I guess one of the reasons why I was kind of thrown off the last episodes because they has that or at least I thought of it as that air of fakeness. Like I don't know.
She literally says, or he says to her, did Isaiah tell you to fall for me? And she says, at first. And then they have a whole conversation about like her flaw, about relying on Isaiah. And that's when Kita says, and that's when we actually started dating. So if you're implying that
Huh.
she seems fake and like putting on a front to manipulate him, I think even you would have to say that ends at that point when she admits to it at the beginning and then they move on with their relationship. I mean, literally, she got her legs broken for him and then is still waiting for him. That's a hardcore manipulation if your manipulation is, he'll come back and talk to me at some point.
He seems off.
I mean, by
Definitely.
that point of view,
Either
I'm
way.
manipulating all of Congress right now. They'll call me. I know they will.
um, there's something about her that just rings false to me, even after that.
I don't know how. She's literally obsessed.
Obsession can still be, well, obsession is not necessarily love. It's just, um, and in fact, she could be manipulated or try to manipulate him because she's obsessed, which is not
But
healthy
that's
at
not
all.
fault. My indication isn't that she's not manipulating now. You said obsessed. I mean, sorry, I said obsessed. You said false, and I'm saying not false. I don't. You seem to be indicating she's faking it, and I'm saying she's obsessed. I don't think she's faking it. She's all on board.
That's just my take on it.
Isaiah's cards. I'm guessing it's going to be another metaphor along the lines of the Go board with the chess pieces on it. Just in case, I tried to keep track of it, despite the fact that he throws all the cards into the fire at the end, and most likely is as meaningless as the Go board itself now, which was also in the fire. The Two of Hearts is Kadota's group. The Four of Hearts is Shinra. The Ten of Diamonds is Simon. The King of question mark is Shizu. He pulled it out of sequence and then burned it. It looks red in the sideways shots of it that we get, so presumably it's a diamond or a heart. The Queen of Spades is Celti. He skips the Seven of Clubs, the Three of Spades, the Six of Spades, the Queen of Hearts, the Eight of Hearts, goes directly to the Joker and says, I wonder who the Joker is, and then gets disinterested and throws them all into the fire. Still leaves the Nine of Clubs, the Ace of Diamonds, and the Two of Spades.
Like the spoiled brat that he is.
He's not spoiled.
Like, oh, I don't want to play with these anymore. Throws them in the fire.
They're his. He can do what he wants with his own things. Not like
Yeah.
he said, "Hey, let me borrow your cards." Threw in the fire.
Yeah, but when these cards are supposed to represent people, yeah, that's pretty ominous.
I think you're like conflating things together. See, he's manipulative. Yes, that doesn't make it. That has nothing to do with being a spoiled brat. I would also say being manipulative doesn't make you a brat. Brat
It makes it something
behavior
else,
is
but I want
completely different.
it's. I'm not gonna say it, but yeah.
Yes, I know you don't like Isaiah. I don't agree 100%. But at the same time, I just don't find your read into him more than surface level. You don't like him. You're stating the things on a surface level that rubs you the wrong way about him. But I don't think you're doing any closer examination because you don't like him, right?
More like I don't. I'm not finding anything else to see in the character.
I mean, nothing I can do about that. I'm not trying to like sell you on it. Obviously, we've had those debates and arguments already. I'm just saying that I just don't think you're trying. And then again, that's not like I'm not trying to tear you down on that. If you don't care for the guy, then you're not going to invest yourself into trying to find a reason to like the guy. I've worked with people like that. To be fair, though, I have actually tried to go back, realizing that's a flaw of mine because one, those are real people. This is an anime character. You got to try and like maybe I'm the asshole for disliking this guy because I can't think of any reason that I actually don't like him. I just want to punch him in the face every time I see him, but I think that's me. I think I'm the asshole.
Watching people having a sport where you watch people, jump to their deaths is a little bit more than
It's not a
just.
sport. It's the manipulation thing again. Actually, hold on a sec. I think literally my next note, I'm literally out of the blue. I do have a note referring to Rio, who's the girl he wanted to make jump. So we get to that. I can't recall having seen Rio since episode 2, but Kita's backstory on how he encountered Isaiah just reminded me of her. She was taking her dad's infidelity personal, and the fact that her mother knew and wouldn't do anything about it sent her over the edge. The one that almost got kidnapped and it nearly jumped off the roof because of Isaiah. When Kita mentions that he wanted to be seen, I kind of feel like that was something Rio was going through as well, and both of their desires led them to Isaiah.
Yeah. You say he's supposed to be human, but I still
He is.
think he's so.
As far as all of the information in the show so far, there's nothing to indicate that he is not human.
What's your next note?
Another Isaiah consideration is that Kita goes out of his way to tell his gang not to recruit any adults because they'd be screwed if they crossed with the Yakuza or the like. Where Isaiah has been working with the Yakuza and the Mafia since Shizu's backstory stuff. I mean, he is the information broker of the area, so having him connected to everyone makes sense. Despite his puppet master status, conceivably, he's the one with the least ability to do anything. Like I said, he's effectively a puppet master, but that's only because people react to what he says, instigating the things he wants to happen. Outside of that, though, everyone else has powers, gangs, etc. to get stuff done. He has to rely on their strength, because without them, he's kind of got nothing.
But that's the nature of power. If people are not willing to obey then or follow what you're trying to say, then you have no power.
No, that's what I'm saying, though. It's like Kita. He's got the yellow scarves, right? He's got a bunch of people willing to do shit for him. If Kita doesn't need Isaiah, then that's an entire branch of the area that Isaiah can't do anything with. Right? If Celti doesn't talk to Isaiah, then he doesn't have the power to manipulate Celti. He's a puppet master, but the moment you stop listening to Isaiah is the moment Isaiah has no power. And like I said, unlike everybody else, Celti is a Doulahan. Kita and I forgot his name for a second. Kita and Mikado are gang leaders. Henri, technically a gang leader, but also supernatural and skills with a sword. Yeah, everybody else has powers. Isaiah is just fast.
But naturally so.
Yeah, but he's never done anything with it other than avoid getting hit. He's not like Shizu. He's not going to throw a whole army of people around like he did that one episode. Or, throw vending machines into the sky. Shizu has offensive power. Isaiah has just, I'm going to keep talking to you. Please don't hit me. Stop punching.
Well, I reacted to your other notes, but I have nothing more that would be specific to that last note.
All right, well, I guess that's everything then. So let's go ahead and hop on in and see what we get.
But before we get started,
Make sure that you hit the like button.
Hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
on top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this,
Unfiltered.
Uncensored.
And uncut.
as well as some early access stuff,
You can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Now, I'm not going to
Oh,
say
this
anything
reminds
about
me-
the opening song, because we
No,
say something
I
about the
will.
opening song once a month, every time we watch. Every time a person watches one of these videos, they're seeing us say something about the opening song at the opening.
Yes, but I will say this. It reminds me of you know about the lo-fi girl, right?
Well,
That
she's
YouTube
just a
channel where-
background thing for the lo-fi
Yeah,
channel.
but the thing is, the person who was drew it actually drew that she's closing the channel because she graduated. Because the whole point of the channel was that she would put the music on to study, and so she drew herself studying, and that became a hit. Now she doesn't need it anymore. After 8 years, I guess she went college. Not college. I mean, probably high school and college. I
I guess
guess.
you're not anticipating that she may have failed.
Huh?
You said you're putting the numbers out there as though she passed every grade and get held back for anything. No one ever considers that the people that they love go to hell. I do have to keep talking. I know we like to watch. See, this is the last time it's
Yeah.
going on, but I do include this in the whole segment of stuff that I have to mute anyway.
Also, doesn't he know who the leader of the? Well, he knows about the dollars.
He knows about the dollars. I don't know what the
No.
leader of the dollars is. Remember, they
Yeah.
even said during the episode that the leader of the dollars didn't make themselves known at the last gathering, which is, where she, Mikado confronted what's her name,
Yeah.
guy's sister. So no, that's what I said about before about the three friends are in opposition to one another and don't realize that they're each other's enemies. And she was hanging around the outside of their gathering, and they sent the group out to find her. So now we have to see if Henri gets caught by Kita, who went out the back, by the way.
どうして木田君が
And they were also just discussing the fact that the dollars are putting out, trying to find information on the slasher.
彼女は知りたかっただけだ。真実。
That's a junkyard. A warehouse. Yeah, it's a warehouse. Oh, sorry.
I mean, I guess conceivably, if she was actually in real danger, she could pull out the sword and make
自
everybody.
分が見たものに対する衝撃だけが心の中に
Fall in love with her?
No, mind controlled. Didn't think those were towels at first. I thought those were hash browns.
思ったより早く退院できてありがとうございます。お世話になりました。
Oh.
はい。ありがとう。
切り裂き魔事件はあの世以来パタリと闇町は平静を取り戻していた
Well, yeah, because the other slasher gang is no longer in control of
何事
itself.
もない日常が戻ってくるはずだった
園原さんよかった間に合った委員会で遅くなっちゃって
龍ヶ峰君。
Because they're both class chairmen
大丈夫なの
of the same class.
もう平気です。
あ荷物持つよ
いえ、大丈夫です。
持たしてやんなよ それが持ちたくてミカドくんは猛ダッシュしてきたんだからさ。アンリー、こいつ朝から何遍俺に言ったと思う？その花さん今日退院だよね。明日同行して大丈夫かな。
Also, an odd thing that I didn't make a note about it was that he was like, long live polygamy.
長峰君も木田君も何度もお見舞いに来て
Kita,
くれて
last episode.
いや、そんな。
I mean, they're both supposed to be in love with her, right?
Right,
That's
but
all
also
fun.
remember that Saki's talking about fall in love with as many girls as you want.
ちょうど入れ違っちゃったね。
So, him saying long live polygamy.
そうだ。そのあらさ、
Weird.
休んでた間の授業のノートを僕のでよかったら貸すけど、あ、字が汚くて読みづらいかもしれないけど。
And last episode
それでよければ使って。
talked about how constantly can see him out here
And here,
木田
waiting
君
for
は
Henri.
何か違う。
少女は少年に漠然とした違和感を感じていた。少年が初めて病室を訪れた時から。
はいこれで大丈夫。
Well, we're really entering real love triangle space now.
アンリー、
quadrangle, if you believe that
No,
that other
no.
girl is in the picture.
Square. She called it a square. She said if you include me, it's a square. But no, I mean the element that's annoying because Mikado was the one that fell in love with her first, and then has really been the one doing everything about all this. Then Kita pushed him on her, and now Kita is the one that's the target of the relationship stuff.
プリンスミカドに譲ってあげよう。この先100年チャンスはないと思え。じゃあな。
明日ね。
Also, the element that she's supposed to be like emotionally dead, and now she's falling in love falling for Kita, I guess.
俺が行くまでそいつらに勝手な真似させるな。いいな。
最近高金属の人たちがますます増えましたね。
本当ですよね。はっきりと姿が見える分、ダラーズより目立ってますよね。
Yeah, the oddity
昔からいます
that some of the yellow scarves are part of the dollars, but they like report about what the dollars are doing to the other yellow scarves.
昔の高金属と違うというか、なんか昔より暴力的になってるような気がします。
あ、さやかさん、こんばんは。
こんばんは。いらっしゃい。
こんばんはです。
So, Henri, obviously.
なんで謝るんですか。
It's either Henri or the other girl is now just not being crazy.
Yeah.
ウイルスとかに引っかかってあんなことになったんですよね。それじゃしょうがないですよ。
すみません。すみません。
Sounds like Henri.
ところでサイカさん、高金属ってカラーギャングわかります？
街にいる黄色い布の人たちですか？
そうそう、それです。
I think
Oh,
yeah,
he's the
we-
one pretending.
Well, yeah, they're all the characters are all the people on the board, but apparently they have like fake names on the board too. It was said to us in a comment before, which was about to say if we had been paying more attention to who's saying what here, we would know everybody who's saying everything.
詳しく知らない人にいきなりそんな話しても。いえいえ、池袋に住んでるんなら知ってなくっちゃ。この間の切り裂き魔事件、結局犯人捕まってないじゃないですか。で、高金属にも被
Yeah, it's Mac.
害者が出てるんです。
Well, he's also on Yahoo, so
もうお
do
互いが
what you
お互い
will.
の犯人だと思ってるっぽいんですよね。
ダラーズの方はそんなにこだわってないみたいですけど、お互いのことをよく分かってないんで誤解もあるんだと思います。
Each of them pretending to be that they're not the person that they are, while also spreading the rumors that they need to be out there.
池袋に血の雨が降りますよ。怖いですよ。構想ってやつですね。
アンリちゃんが気にすることないよ。連中が勝手に暴走してるだけ。
Oh, and this one knows. Okay.
真犯人でもないアンリちゃんが自首とかしても関係ないから。謝っちゃダメだよ。今の警察は本当におっかないから。本当におっかないから。本当に怖い。
Oh, yeah, because you have the one guy who's specifically out to get you.
すみません。ありがとう。
Apparently, without her even with her powers, she can't do anything.
No, I think she's just scared of him. I don't think he hasn't actually implied that he can actually do anything.
すみません。私今日はこれで。
あ、はい。
さやかさん、お疲れ様でした。
おやす。どうも。じゃあ、私もそろそろ落ちますね。
では、また。お疲れ様でした。カンナさん、切り裂き魔の件。なんか分かったら知らせる。格安でね。この町の
Now Makito talking to Isaiah.
早く捕まってくれれば、黄金属
But
You
he
roll
gets
your
his
eyes,
fight
but
that
it's
he
literally
wants.
they're going to an information broker for information.
Yeah, but he has his own agenda, so.
So
そう簡単にいくかな。
it'd be more unrealistic if he didn't have his own agenda.
私利私欲に走って構想って名目でカツアゲとかする奴らも出るだろうし。
Well, I guess now there's finally going to be consequences for being a member of the Dollars, even though nobody should know that you're a member of the Dollars.
どうかな。もう止められないんじゃないかな。黄金族の方は君には止めようがないしね。それでもさせません。
Kind of feels like what he did with the blue scarves. Because I anticipate that the thing behind the thing in the past is that Isaiah was also telling the blue scarves how to handle the the blue squares, how to handle the yellow scarves.
You get more and more violent until they broke those
Well, because the blue squares essentially knew how to fight the yellow scarves, and they showed up in overwhelming force all the time. And then the yellow scarves get the same information essentially. So it's just clear to me that Isaiah is the one who essentially set up Saki to get her legs broken, to inspire Kita to do whatever the fuck he was going to do. He's basically got a long-term plan that he's using on everybody.
もしもし。あ、そう。わかった。ほんじゃすぐ行くわ。
And this is the thing we saw last episode. Don't blame me, blame my friend. Yep, see?
恨むならただだし、俺には被害がない。まさに一石二鳥、一夫多妻だからな。一夫多妻?
That polygamy thing, that's what I said. Now he's gonna run back to the warehouse, have the conversation, and then there's a girl outside spying on us. Go find her. I'm going out the back.
そうかな。気のせいじゃない？
あ、ごめんなさい。私ちょっと用があるので。じゃあ。
ゆうべダラーズのメンバーが黄金族にカツアゲされたんだってな。ああ、なんか間一髪で死人が。
Yeah, but how did they find out that they were dollars? Unless they went around saying that we're part of the dollars, which you don't usually do.
このままではいけない。ダラーズを率いる少年には分かっていた。しかし彼はまだ自らも駒の一つとして盤上にいることを知らない。
Go board. To go board.
Of course.
ジャックさん、寿司食いね。寿司は日本の心ね。演歌ね。
出前取るとコサックダンス踊ってくれるって本当っすかね。
けどゆうべの子たち。
Also, former Blue Square members, all of these guys.
この棒振り下ろしたらあなた寿司のネタになるね。
Which is ironic, because a former rumor that was investigated is that they were using dead people for sushi. Well, actually, they spread the rumor that the other sushi place down the street is using dead people for sushi, and then they ask them that when they're there.
Oh, she has red. Oh, she always had red eyes, but
Yeah, she's psycho.
うちのボスは木田正臣です。母さんと一緒にいるのも。
And getting information from her army.
母さんの大事な友達の仇を取るんだと言ってました。
そんな。
もちろん。
I said everyone's intermingled. There's Psycho army members in the dollars. There's yellow scarves in the dollars. Presumably there's dollars in both organizations telling them things too. Actually, I think nobody would be.
彼女は全てを知った。
木田君が。
この奥じゃねえかな。
逃げなければ。
どうして木田君が。
捕まったら。
See what I'm saying? use the psychic powers and you get out of there. Easy. You just gain a couple more followers.
誰も傷つけ
I
た
think
く
she
ない
wants to, though.
自分が
Well,
化け
it's
物
what you have to do,
少年に
otherwise you're going to be
仕掛け
uncovered.
少女はその恐怖におののく
Very few people in this world get to do everything that they want to do.
助けて誰か助けて
おいあれ
雨の中に佇むのは
Salty.
デュラハンの女
Why do you have to call it the female Doulahan? We've seen no other Doulahan.
追い詰められた少女にただ一つできたことは自分と同じこの世に存在しないはずのものに助けを求めることだけだった
Who also knows your online alternate handle.
あいつならあり得る動くぞマジかよ
セルティさん
事情は後でね。逃げるよ。後ろに乗って。
はい
Cover your face? Yeah.
ありがとうございます
しっかり捕まってて。
See, if I was the Yellow Scarves, I'd be concerned that we're out here looking for somebody, and suddenly this person shows up and they're texting. It's like, oh, clearly they're in cahoots.
そのライダースーツの線ちょっと男にしちゃ細すぎると踏んでたんだよね男ならどうでもいいけど女ならそのライダースーツだけでも愛せるよ俺アマさん愛せば消せ
I guess they say that.
こいついつも帝やウリと一緒にいる。なるほど。こいつに顔を見られたくないと。事情はわからないが了解だ。なんだ。
Brilliant move. Brilliant move. That's the thing to do. Did she pull her sword or was that Celti's?
Yeah.
Nope, it's a sword. So now they're going to think Celti is in league with the slasher because her red eyes are also visible.
彼らの中で一瞬にして情報の断片が統合される
Also, yeah, didn't Celti show up for the dollars at the dollars meeting? So now they're going to think that Celti. Yep, see, there we go. What I said. Exactly what I was getting to.
自分の結論が正しいのかどうかわからない。ただ確かなことは彼がどう考えようと
So now, Kita and Mikado are now exactly enemies of each other without knowing that they're enemies of each other.
知らないっすこれから死ぬやつの家を訪れる首なし馬に乗った首なしの騎士なんだってよまあ死神みたいなもんだ
What are going to Shinigami? I know the Grim Reaper is a Shinigami technically, but he's not also his own thing.
こんな時に先に会いたいなんて
I don't know, man. Maybe you should address your gang. You've kind of seen something crazy.
空は死んだ。それは三国志の中で黄金族が立ち上がった時の旗印だという。
確かに青くない。まあ黄色くもないけどな。
こんばんはっと。お、太郎さんだけですか？
こんばんは。そうみたいです
ね。いきなり内緒モードですか。ちょっと。
I like to think his information brokering days are just spent at the computer in a chat. And then every so often somebody visits him and he's like, hey, what do you want?
最初はおとなしい集団だったんですけどね。
Yeah, until you turn them into more violent gangsters.
その生贄となった少女が親友のかつての恋人だとも知らぬまま、そして語って聞かせるその男が少女の心を支配し、 親友に対して癒えぬ傷を刻印したとも知らぬまま。
じゃあ結局黄金族だけが残って。
ところがブルースクエアは死んじ
Yeah,
ゃった。
leader got arrested.
どういうことですか？
黄金族のリーダーが抗争に嫌気がさしてチームを離れた後、彼らは黄金族に入り込んだ。
つまり合併したって。
No, there you go.
単純に言えばね、互いの組織に誰がいたかなんてリーダー格の人間を除けばいちいち調べたりしないだろうからね。
Like I said, there's that one guy who was in both as the board I
黄金
sewed.
族に入りたいですって言えばそれで OK なだけさ。
でもそれって辞めたリーダーの人は。
知らないだろうね。自分の恋人を病院送りにした連中が昔の自分の仲間とつるんでるなんて。
I think I even said that during the last episode. I said that guy in the van. It's like, isn't that other guy?
だからこそ僕らが関わりないってことをダラーズの中に回せば、その人が黄金族に伝えてくれるかもしれません。
本当にダラーズの仕業じゃなければね。ダラーズに規則はないし、君も全員の行動を管理してるわけじゃん。
The fact they specifically don't know who their own leader is means you can't tell them anything specifically.
切り裂き魔になっているのかもしれないよ。
Ah, there we go. I mean, it's not untrue. What he's saying isn't untrue.
このまま君がこっち側に来るつもりなら、その辺は覚悟しておいた方がいい。
肝に銘じておきます。
The fact is, the Dollars is the biggest gang, but it's the most infiltrated gang in existence. It's that.
I mean, you can
it's that
turn it
SNL
around saying
joke.
that
It's that
the
SNL
dollars are
joke of the
infiltrated.
two mafia gangsters that are both wired, trying to get the other person to admit to a crime.
元気ないみたいだけど、体調まだ良くないんじゃ。
I mean, it could be turned around and saying that the dollars are infiltrated everyone else.
You said the blue dollars?
The dollars.
どうして？
No, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter.
そう。じゃ。
The yellow scarves that are part of the dollars are telling about the dollars to the yellow scarves. They're not dollars centric, they're yellow scarf centric. The Psycha army members that are part of the dollars are Psycha army members. They're mind control. It don't matter. No one is part of the dollars is in another group that's loyal specifically to the dollars.
したいけどな。
どうしてできないの？
サキと戦うなんてできるわけねえって。
It's like being an American and a Democrat. You're both things at the same time. But probably due to party politics,
Yeah,
you're more a
somebody's gonna get
Democrat.
killed or end up in the hospital again just because to satisfy a jackass sense of.
You mean my guy?
Yeah, that guy. I mean, you already have one person in the hospital. I don't think this is going to stop even somebody ends up dead. Too much of a psychopath.
I don't think he's a psychopath.
戻ったのか。
はい。ここじゃない
As per the flashback from the last episode. I just can't think of the other word. I think you're conflating psychopath and a different word that I just having a hard time remembering.
Sociopath?
Yeah, I think you're conflating sociopath and psychopath. He's definitely not a psychopath. He has an understanding of human emotions and is very much putting them out there.
Yeah.
He's not like faking emotional understanding so that people around him don't think he's a psychopath. I think he's just very unconcerned with other people's feelings.
Someone who...
Again, the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath. But no, I think, again, he's still my favorite character. That's why we argue about him all the time. You very much don't like him, and I enjoy him because he's the opposite of Kira from Gundam Seed. He's constantly doing stuff.
Okay. Sure.
I don't understand what your understanding is. I was expecting you to join in on with me. This problem we have sometimes is that I'll say things like, this will get him on board, and you're like, confused or not even on board with me. Hold on.
It's just that the
Hold on,
comparison
hold on.
世界は記号だって偉い人が言った
忌まわしい過去は妄想の産物
そんな現実存在しなかったそれでいいじゃないですか
次回好天まさに立つ
The comparison is that we went through 50 episodes yelling about how Kira wouldn't take action. He just kept talking and not doing anything. So it's like, oh, I need to pull out a character who we both had an experience of not liking, not doing stuff. It's like, okay, well, I like this guy because he's constantly taking action and you can see him manipulating and doing shit all over the place as compared to a character we both didn't like.
Well, I didn't hate Kira. I hated the fact that the narrative didn't give him anything to actually do.
You understand that the narrative is the world, right? You're like, the narrative didn't give him... The narrative actually gave him a ton of stuff to do, which was our complaint. The narrative gave him everything to do, and they sat at the bottom of the ocean and talked. Again, the problem, I think, is you're separating Kira from the writers, or you're saying that the narrative didn't give him anything to do, when what I feel like you're implying is that Kira would have done something had he been written to do something. And it's like, yeah, but he wasn't. Kira is the character that they wrote him to be. So you can't blame anyone other than, if you want to go outside the scope of the show, the writers. The writers did a bad job with Kira because they wrote him to be the character who did nothing until, the fight scenes. And in which case we're arguing about Kira shouldn't be here. He shouldn't be
I think the
fighting.
confusing thing is I don't like what this guy is doing. I don't like why he's doing it. So the fact that he's doing it,
we don't understand why he's doing it. Or, we understand what he's doing. It's literally seeing the result and then backtracking to figure out why it happened, right? You're in the hospital with both your legs broken. Did you get into a car accident? No, actually a gang beat the shit out of me. It's like, oh, okay. I'm not saying, obviously, he's the bad guy. I'm not, but I like bad guys more than I like good guys. That is not that's not a weigh-in on what they believe in or whatever they're doing. I'm just saying that bad guys, movies, TV shows, comic books, whatever, are always more interesting because they have strongly held beliefs and they do interesting things based on those beliefs. Whereas good guys are just mostly normal that do things based on what everyone else believes. So, also, as I said many times, across many shows and across many different co-hosts rather, bad guys always have something to lose. Heroes, only in the most interesting stories, lose stuff across the path. Most of the time they get plot armor to shit, or they're a power fantasy, so you're overpowered. Bad guys die at the drop of a hat.
but not in this
Crank
case.
shows up, and Crank fucking dies within 2 episodes of him showing up. Sorry, show you haven't seen before, but I'm not trying to spoil anything. Crank shows up 2 episodes after he appears, and then his subordinate has to carry his flag for 10 more episodes, and then boom, that guy fucking dies. And you're like, oh, I thought this was going to be the thing. And then no, bad guys have no plot armor. Unless you're the main bad guy, maybe. Sometimes you get subverted with another bad guy. Look, I don't understand why you're giving me the eyeball. You're like, this guy's talking fucking nonsense. I've said this for 3 years now.
But it doesn't apply to this particular character.
I don't care. I'm describing why I like bad guys. We never went back to Durarara yet. I'm just going over the fact that I like bad guys, and I'm trying to address why I like bad guys. Because again, this isn't like I'm watching the news. You'd be reprehensible. I'm like, that Putin guy, he's got some good stuff. No, I'm not. This isn't real life. This is a story, right? And the more interesting people in a story are the people with something to lose. There's that new show, Gachaghan? The one where all the rich people live in this city. On the outskirts of the city are the poor folk. And if you get accused of a crime, you get thrown off of the island, and you land into the trash below. And his whole thing is he's falsely accused, and the impetus of the trailer, at the very least, is, I'll get you for what you've done. He has something to lose, and that makes him more interesting than your standard hero protagonist. And I'm just saying, bad guys don't have plot armor. when I watch the hero get into a fight with a bunch of bad guys, I automatically assume that the good guy is going to survive, continue the story, because they also tend to be the main character, right? Without a main character, the story's not going anywhere. But the bad guys, are they going to survive? Is this guy going to leave this fight, becoming a more important secondary character, or is he just going to fucking die like everybody else does? I have to wonder, and the wondering makes it a stronger experience for me.
Okay. I mean, that you stated your position, and
yes,
there it
I
is.
know. You've got resting, dismissive face, I think, is your problem, and tone of voice,
of course, yes,
and wandering eyeballs that just tend to roll in any direction they want to roll in.
They don't have that much air movement, so there you go. Well, this is episode 19, so we're 5 episodes to the end of this core, if it's 12 episodes per core. So one or two things is basically going to happen. You're going to either have a bloodbath when these gangs start, going at it, or someone is going to go like, no, wait, the reality is that this is what's really happening. It's like, oh, okay, never mind, but I think somebody's either going to end up dead or in the hospital.
Well, we know Isaiah is building up towards a major conflict, but as much as it seems like everything is coming into focus, the yellow scarves are thinking now that the dollars are harboring the slasher, or that the Psycho army is now in focus with Honoree doing her thing. That even though it feels like we've got this 3-way gang war about to happen, there's still outside forces that are unknown at the moment, like Shinra's dad and whatever the fuck he's up to, whatever that has going to happen with that head. There's still elements that I don't think are going to come into play in 5 episodes.
No, I don't think so.
That one American corporation that we were talking about before, we as in the show in total, I think that happened before you joined on, so
there it is.
All right, well, I guess all that said, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Lessons, we've been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?